Welcome, welcome to the ladies' room, where real men talk and truth go boom. Good morning, good morning. If your man acting up or your woman losing she mind, right we don't hide till we inside, 'cause the ladies' room go set it right. Welcome, welcome to the ladies' room, where real men talk and truth go boom. Good morning, good morning. If your man acting up or your woman losing she mind, right we don't hide till we inside, 'cause the ladies' room go set it right. Welcome, welcome to the ladies' room, where real men talk and truth go boom. Good morning, good morning. If your man acting up or your woman losing she mind, right we don't hide till we inside, 'cause the ladies' room go set it right. Welcome, welcome to the ladies' room, where real men talk and truth go boom.
And we are back in the room, the ladies' room for today, Tuesday, February 24th. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here for another morning. And of course, if you're just joining us, thank you so much for powering up. And as always, we welcome you to the room to be part of the conversation. We appreciate the feedback. We appreciate the love and the support. And of course, we know that it won't be possible without you, the listeners and viewers of the ladies' room. So again, my appreciation. All right. If you're just joining us, welcome back. Thank you so much to our friends at Beacon Insurance, St. Augustine Medical Services, Land Store, and not forgetting Beacon Insurance Western Union. They are making the room possible once again. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, we're above ground, so we got lots to be thankful for. If you are celebrating a birthday today, want to wish you a happy day. Shout out to all the Pisces in the building. Yeah, here's to you having a wonderful, wonderful celebration of life. And if you're not celebrating a birthday, but you're celebrating life, that works. What's his face? Mr. Ray, don't worry. You will know when I am not here. Kenwin Roberts, you ain't celebrating no birthday this year. People whose birthday fall on February 29th, and there's no 29th there's only a 29th in a leap year. When it's not a leap year, you celebrate the 28th, right? So that means you don't have, or you stop until you start. So that means you take off how many years? 4 years from your birth date. Anyways, Kenwin, I know you'll be celebrating come the 28th. Since we don't have a 29 this year, you ain't even finished. Look at you, giving so much trouble in the world. No wonder you behave the way you do, because you ain't even finished born yet. You don't even have a day for you off your birth that is like regular, normal people. That explains your behavior. Anyways, morning, Carol on YouTube. Good morning to my YouTubers, those of you viewing on Facebook or YouTube or listening via the Power app or on radio 95.1, 95.3. And I really want to say a heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you who take the time out on a daily basis, to just share some inspirational words to say, you know what? We see you, we hear you, we appreciate what you're doing, because a lot of people seem to think that sitting here every day, talking about what's happening, especially, dealing with the gravity of the situation, that it's easy. It's not. It really takes a toll on you mentally. And if you don't pour into yourself or someone pours into you, you will end up depleted. You end up exhausted. You end up tired. And you don't have the will nor the strength to continue. So it might not seem like a lot, but trust and believe to people who are, advocating for different things, when other people say, you know what, continue to do what you're doing, we're praying for you, etc. It really, really, really helps. It really, really means a lot. Did I share this live? Jeez, I didn't even share the live. Okay, wait. Give me 1 second. So I didn't even share the live, and I sit down here making confusion. Hold on, guys. Let me just share. All right, that's more like it. Guys, please help me share, because I wanna talk to the men this morning. Yesterday we had a conversation with our mothers, with our women folks, young women, and this morning I did say I want to reverse the conversation. So men, come to the front of the class quickly so we can talk. Yeah. Shauna and Dakota, good morning. I'm sure you're loving yourself right now with the weather, all that snow. Rachel Boateng, Maureen Isaac, Yvette James, Linda Pearl, Trisha Franklin. Where is Shanti? Oh, there you are. Jackie Douglas Adams, good morning. How's the weather treating you guys? Mel, how is it in the DMV? Derek St. Louis. All right, men, come on in. Nakisha Allen, Joanne Batson, Marvelyn Thomas, Kem Simeon, Terrace Millett, Andrea. Good morning. Valerie Ross. Who else? Come on, tag your friends. Share the live, guys, please, and thank you. Ingrid Bourne, Golden Girl Augustine, Precious Jewel, Diane Jerome, please share. Good morning, Naya. Yeah, you're always early, the first to reach and the first to leave. You don't ever stay for the end of a program. You can't just sit still and listen. As soon as you come in, you greet, and then 2 twos are turned around, you're gone about your business. Oh boy. Morning, Devon Noel, Jenelyn Andel Lewis, Roxanne Scott, Alicia Hazard. Good morning, Vanessa St. John. Good morning, Ken. Ladies' room upgraded. Ken, in your auto order. Mr. Ray, good morning. Would I say you in England again? Ali Mitchell, good morning. Good morning, Queen Bee. Jackie Chaiton, morning, Gabby. Morning, Tamasha. Brenda, Mandy Batiste. Oh, it's your birthday today? Nice. Big up yourself. Thanks for always supporting and, fighting my battles. Morning, Kata, Candace Lawrence, Roderick Thomas, Pigtail, big up yourself all the way in Saudi Arabia. Jayla Board, Sonia Raymond Nelson, Glendon Phillip. Good morning. Tag your men, folks, guys. I want the men to come in the room. Thank you, Derek. Fighting the good fight. Lisa, good morning. Jeff Perry, good morning. Claudine, Lois, Juan, good morning. Sarika, Manisha, who else? Vanessa, morning, everybody. Spice Youth Batiste, big up yourself. Morning, Drea. Thank you so much. Carvel, you hear what's for today? Well, good morning, Preston. Bishop. Oh yes, I have to call you. Yes, Bishop. When I'm done. When I'm done. Where you going next weekend? Yes, Randy, Isaac 40th anniversary. You have to know when you have something coming up. That's the only time I don't see you around here. When carnival time and you have something coming up. So you see your present because your 40th anniversary coming up. I seen you, you know. Anyways, Petra and Carol, good morning. So let me get into it. Like I said, tag your men friends. And again, welcome back to the room. And this morning, I'm not here to criticize men. Disclaimer from jump. I am not here. Lou, stay away from Naya, please. If I don't know what you talking about, see you next weekend. Stay away from Naya, because you know you're not no drinker. This morning I'm not here to criticize men. I am here, however, to challenge men. Because too often conversations about safer communities, healthier relationships, and stronger families get framed as women's issues. But the truth is, the kind of men boys grow into is shaped by the men they see today. And whether it's said out loud or not, just like I said, young women are studying the women around them. Young boys are also studying the men around them every single day. They're learning what respect looks like. They're learning how to handle anger. They're learning how to treat women, and they're learning what responsibility feels like. So this morning, I want to take the time, like I did yesterday, to talk directly to our men listening. Not from a place of blame, not to criticize you, not to break you down, but from a place of belief. Because strong men don't fear accountability. Strong men don't fear accountability or responsibility. Strong men build legacy. And that's the conversation we're having today. So that is why I'm inviting you to come to the front of the class, have a seat, and let's have a conversation like we did. This morning, I posted on my Facebook page, I asked a question. And I was kind of two minds to post it because I know topics like these, you'll ask the question and men, women still would respond. And I directly ask, question for the men. Do you hold each other accountable, like your brethren, you know, your boys? Do you ever say to them, that's not how you treat a woman, you need to step as a father, etc.? And I'm happy to report that there's more men in the audience responding than women. Thank you so much for not taking over the thread and not responding for the men, but giving them an opportunity to speak and stand for themselves. Yeah? So I've seen quite a few of them responding. And I want to say thanks to those who have. If you have not, the post is public. You can go and check it out yourself. Yeah? Nonetheless, to take us back to the conversation, my screen is frozen. How come? Hold on. Somebody says I'm frozen. Am I still frozen? It's good now? Okay. I'm good now? All right. Yeah. Some saying it's better, some saying it's back. All right, so it's back now. Mark, don't play with me this morning, please. Today is not a good day. We need to have this conversation. It was fine yesterday. The devil is a liar. It was fine yesterday for the women, and now you want to be freezing and frozen for the men this morning. Don't do it. Do not do it. Anywho's. Neela, good morning. But my eyes. As I was saying, it might be a little bit uncomfortable, but hey, we can't be tiptoeing our way through life on being afraid of having uncomfortable conversations. And like I said, this conversation is coming from a place of respect and not accusations, not about blaming you. It's about asking how fathers, brothers, mentors, and leaders can help shape better men for the future. Spent a lot of time yesterday talking about what women need to do differently: the standards, the responsibility, the emotional growth, the accountability. I spoke about all of that yesterday for the entire morning. Nothing to do with men, no blame, no shame, no nothing. Just woman to woman, and of course, our young ladies as well. Because like I said, at the end of the day, whether we say it or not, boys are always watching. They watch how men speak to women. They watch how men handle anger, how men treat rejection. They watch whether men take responsibility or whether they make excuses. And from those observations, they learn what manhood looks like. They see how you treat their mothers, how you treat the females in your circle, how you treat women generally. And from those observations, they learn what it looks like, not from the lectures, not from the speeches, from the behavior. And we have this tendency to say, do as I say, not as I do. And the same, as I said yesterday, applies to we always heard our parents and guardians saying that growing up: do as I say, not as I do. But visuals tend to leave a greater impact. You can hear something and it's gone. But if you're seeing something constantly, you're seeing a particular behavior, that is what you're going to gravitate to, not what they're telling you, oh, don't do that. And the same thing they're telling you not to do, they're doing it. But you're paying attention to the action. So not the lectures, not the speeches of don't do it, do as I say, do as I do. We're looking at the behavior. And don't get me wrong, this isn't about saying all men are the same, because I, for one, I don't subscribe, neither do I believe that all men are the same. You might have similar behavior, similar traits, but no, all women are not the same, all men are not the same. And it's not about assuming every man is doing wrong. But the conversation is about community accountability, and that's how growth happens. Real brotherhood isn't just laughing together, you all go party together, or you defend each other blindly. Real brotherhood is also telling each other the truth. And I stand 10 toes down on telling each other the truth. It's saying that's not how you treat a woman. It's saying you need to step up as a father. It's saying I respect you too much to watch you destroy your own life. And I've noticed how often men protect each other's bad behavior in the name of loyalty. That's my bro, and bro code, and for the boys, and yada, yada, yada. And similar to women, it's called staying out of business. It gets called not interfering. It gets called that's between them. But sometimes silence isn't loyalty. Sometimes silence is permission. Because when men see their friends being reckless, irresponsible, or emotionally careless and say nothing, that behavior quietly becomes normal. it quietly becomes normal. And you know what they say about normalized behavior? Normalized behavior becomes culture. And hate it or like it, culture shapes boys. Boys become men, and men shape communities. Boys cannot grow up respecting women if they constantly see men disrespecting them. Boys cannot grow up responsible if they watch grown men run from consequences, running from their responsibilities. Boys cannot grow up emotionally strong if they see men avoiding healing and calling silence strength. We really, as a society, need to break this, oh, man being silent is a man being strong. Nonsense, BS. Strength is you being able to identify your weaknesses, not you pretending to be okay. Being silent is not being strong. And this is where Tamasha says not all men are the same, but there are more brothers on the block than in the homes. So asking this question is truly valid. Nisha says there's so many men and women who's been hurt and they tend to generalize each other and say that all men, women are the same. I will not be friends with any man or woman who abuses a significant other. And that is my stance as well. Preston says, but weak men beat ladies. They can't communicate, so they use other measures. We can define weakness and we can identify what makes a man strong, and there's a lot of things we can add to that label. Yeah? But at the end of the day, boys, like I said, cannot grow up emotionally strong if they see men avoiding healing and calling silence strength. And that is where fathers come into. We aren't talking perfect fathers. Nobody's perfect. Not men with every answer, but men who are present as well. And too often, fatherhood is seen as providing financially. It's not only about providing financially, it's also about providing direction. A boy who only sees provision learns that money is enough. But a boy who sees his father apologize learns accountability. A boy who sees his father communicate learns emotional intelligence. And that, unfortunately, is the problem we have on this little rock of ours. We lack emotional intelligence. We lack emotional intelligence. A boy who sees his father respect women, he learns dignity. And what so many fail to realize is that presence builds character. Absence creates questions. Boys end up answering on their own, and it may not be the right answers. Too many young men grow up believing manhood is about dominance instead of discipline, silence instead of strength, and control instead of character. They think respect is something you demand instead of something you earn. Too many of our young men think vulnerability is weakness. And like I said, we have a lot of learned behaviors we have to unlearn because we do not allow that space for men to be vulnerable. I know. There are men who said to me, you know what, I tried what you said with my wife or my girlfriend, and she laughed at me and asked me what happened to me. But I try to be vulnerable and express, So society has conditioned us to think that men are supposed to always be tough and rough and hard and any signs of vulnerability, any sign of, I'm not doing good, it's weakness. You are wimp. Grow up here. Men don't complain. You just do what you have to do. As if it's programmed. He's AI. No emotions, no feelings, no nothing, not a zilch. They think vulnerability is weakness, and they think aggression proves masculinity. And you see it among the young men. You see them walking in their uniforms and the aggression, the way they speak. And it's like they're trying to assert themselves by being aggressive. And I guess based on the environment, that's what they think. That is their idea. And it's like we need a social conditioning. And I'm not sure where we have to start, where we have to go, whether it's in the schools and like we have to do this from very, very young. Start teaching our young men that aggression is not masculinity. Everybody's just so rough and always so. They think emotions are something to bury instead of something to understand. And those beliefs, they don't appear overnight. They grow in environments where boys are constantly told to man up instead of open up. Alroy, not today, please. Don't do it. Don't do it today, Alroy. Because I'm not sure where, but women are the ones that doesn't take. As long as we continue to women this, men, we will never get anywhere, because this is what I'm trying to avoid. This is what I'm talking about. Each one. We are speaking today of men holding men accountable. We are not speaking about women. Notice yesterday when I had the conversation, I did not mention anything about men need to do this and men aren't responsible. No, I spoke directly to us and us accepting responsibility and accountability. Do not do that. Today, it's about men and men only, nothing to do with women. And as long as we continue to do the back and forth, pointing the finger, we will never get anything fixed. Women had their day yesterday, and I noticed you were absent. But today, you're here talking about women are the ones that doesn't take responsibility. Don't do that. We are speaking about yourself. We're speaking about men, man. That's who we're speaking about, not women. Don't pass the buck. We're not passing any bucks. We're accepting it for what it is. Otherwise, it's okay to sit, listen quietly. You don't have to say a word. But don't change your discourse. Please don't. Otherwise, you'll be muted. Don't change the direction. Don't change the conversation. Don't change the narrative. We are speaking about men and men being responsible and accountable like we did for women yesterday. Don't do that. As I was saying, they grow up in environments where boys are told to man up instead of open up, where correction is replaced with jokes, where accountability is replaced with excuses, like we just had. Excuses instead of accountability, like we just had a perfect example of. Guidance is not criticism. Correction is not disrespect. Boundaries are not rejection. They are preparation. A boy who is never corrected grows into a man who struggles with responsibility, like this one. A boy who is never taught discipline grows into a man who resents structure. A boy who is never guided grows into a man trying to lead without a compass. Can I mute him? Let me see if I can mute you, because you're distracting me seriously. Let me see if I can mute you or block you. Because if you can't add anything sensible to the conversation, then you don't need to be here. Let me see if I can mute you or block you. For once, it'll be nice if you just sit, listen, and don't say a word, because you're talking and what you're saying isn't making any sense. Because you're going totally against the grain. Doing exactly what we're asking not to do. The world does not reward confusion. So you're saying teaching boys higher standards is creating a weak society. Who raised you? Alroy Philip, who raised you? Because you're saying teaching boys higher standards is raising a weak society. Let me see if I could click on your picture to see what's your age range. If you're a young person. If you're a young person, I'll excuse you and leave you. But if you're somebody who's supposed to know better, you're gonna get a block. Let me see. You'll get a pass if you're a young person because you still have time to grow. Alroy is a big old man. Nah, man. Come on, Alroy. I'm thinking it's some little. Well, it does disappoint people, yes? Nah, but I say that it looks does be this evening in truth, you know. Because looking at you, you look so well schooled and learned. And I know he's not even a bad looking gentleman, you know. He went to Midwestern states, boy. They ain't lying when they say education is not everything. As I was saying. So what does teaching boys higher standards actually look like? Because according to Alroy, if you were to go with Alroy's reasoning, it looks like teaching them strength is being weak. To show respect is being weak. It's telling them that walking away from conflict is wisdom. In Alroy's eyes, that is weakness. We're raising a weak society for telling young men to walk away from conflict. Teaching them that strength is self-control. Telling them that respect is shown in private, not just in public. And real power is protecting, not intimidating. And that walking away from conflict is wisdom, not weakness, is raising a weak society. Thank you, you don't live here. Boys don't become men through age, and it is evident, clearly evident. We have the perfect example in the room this morning. They become men through example. Boys don't become men through age, they become men through example. And if they see men solving problems with anger, they normalize anger. If they see men avoiding responsibility, they normalize avoidance. If they see men treating women as disposable, they normalize disrespect. And that's why men holding men accountable matters. Not passing the buck like Alroy wants to do or blaming a woman, but holding men accountable. You're in ignored right now, so nobody's bothering with you anymore. Holding men accountable matters, not in a humiliating way, not in a confrontational way, but in a firm, respectful way. And like I said, real masculinity isn't fragile. Real masculinity can be corrected. Unlike some who think that, hey, I know it all, I'm a man, and to prove I'm a man, I can't say, you know what, I'm wrong. Or I can't learn, I can't grow. Real masculinity can grow, Alroy. Real masculinity can be corrected. The strongest men aren't the loudest men. They're the most grounded, and they don't need data to be that. You don't need data to be a decent human being. You don't need data to tell you this isn't right, the way I'm treating a person, the way I'm abusing a person. You don't need data to tell you that. The common sense that God blessed a lot of us with tells us that. The strongest men aren't the loudest men. They're the most grounded. And this conversation isn't just about relationships either. It's about purpose. It's about discipline. It's the type of legacy that you want to leave for your sons, your grandsons, your generation. As the Jamaicans would say, your generation. When boys grow up seeing men pursue growth instead of ego, they learn that success isn't about image. It's about integrity. When they see men honor commitments, they learn that character is consistency. When they see men lead with patience instead of pride, they learn that leadership is service. So this morning, I'm not asking anyone to feel attacked, and I don't want anyone to feel attacked. Before data, Alroy, humans lived centuries before any sort of data, and they were able to make a lot of decisions that were not data-driven, that made more sense than all the data we have. So you hold on to your data. You'll be ruled by computer screens and AI and what and what. Some of us who live in the real world, our common sense helps us to shape decision. Moral compasses, etc., help shape decision. Not everything needs data. People live hundreds of years, thousands of years without data. So don't do that. Don't be bad. Don't be like, look at me, I'm a man of the world, Mr. Data. Nobody cares. What we care about are the examples that young men are following or looking up to. What do we have to show them? Plus the peer pressure, as Preston just mentioned. It is a call for reflection. Are the men around you modeling the kind of men boys should become? Are you brave enough to correct your friends when they drift off course? Are young men being taught responsibility or just expected to magically develop it? Or are we waiting on data for them to get it? Change doesn't always start in government buildings and policies. It starts in the barber shops, the car rides between fathers and sons, kicking some ball, playing some basketball, playing some football, hanging out with your sons. The conversations between friends, in men choosing honesty over ego. It starts when accountability stops feeling like disrespect and starts being understood as investment. Because at the end of the day, a lot of us think that a legacy is what we leave behind. Legacy isn't just what a man leaves financially. It's about what he leaves in people. And if we're talking about if safer communities are the goal, if healthier families are the goal, if stronger relationships are the goal, then stronger men have to be part of that foundation. We're not talking perfect men. We're not talking about flawless men. We're talking about present, accountable, growing men. Because at the end of the day, accountability isn't about tearing men down. It's about building them into the kind of men who don't need excuses. And that is how generations change. It's about building them into the kind of men who don't need excuses. Roderick says if a man doesn't want to hold himself responsible for his mistakes and hold himself accountable for things he did or doing, that's not in response to setting example to the younger ones. Do you think he will care about someone else holding responsible? Some men are just to themselves with certain beliefs. Yep. And unfortunately, there are a few that you could talk until the cows come home, you can't do. The one from yesterday come back today again. Jesus. Let me take the bait for a second.
Good morning again. I am listening to your program concerning men. But I gotta say it for short. The men you're talking about, those boys you're talking about, these are the boys that turn to men or to bigger males that grew up with the mother alone in the house. And the mother tries to be a man by trying to grow boys. These are the aftermath of those type of results with women trying to raise boys. Don't work to be a man, it doesn't work. And the reason why the man is not in the house is that the same thing I said the last time, because the women are not behaving in the way that a woman's supposed to behave. So the mothers are failing the daughters, and it goes on and on in the same link. So this is what the women raise. They're raising boys to be girls. As you can see, the results. So don't blame it on the real man who wants to be in a relationship, who wants to be there for his family, and just because a woman can behave like a woman, be submissive, she can go out there and do what she wants and expect to have that nuclear family. It doesn't work that way. So please, madam, I don't know if you have something against real men. I don't know if you have a real man in your life. I don't know if you dealing with real men, but you're speaking as though men is the problem. And I said to you before, if women don't cheat, then men have no other choice than just to be loyal. Woman has to hold her fort in the family. And this is the problem. Women think they're smarter than Jesus. They think they're smarter than God. They think they're smarter than anything that is that ever existed because they have so much brain that they can be caught. And when it does happen, it's chaos and destruction. So please, these boys are not men. And they didn't grow up with the father, they grew up with the mothers.
I need a soup. Somebody bring something sweet for me. I need a bite of malt or something. My sugar level go right down right now. What's lady bring tamarind for me? I need something sweeter than that. You know what is the problem? I just realized what is part of the problem. Listening. A lot of you listen to respond, and some of you already have those preconceived notions in your head. And no matter what anybody says, that is what you have in your head about how women are concerned and how you see women. So that is a you problem, not a we or our. With all due respect, sir, that is a you problem. And I suggest you get help to deal with your problem because you obviously have a problem. Because if we're speaking, yesterday we spoke about holding women accountable, women holding themselves responsible and accountable for their actions. This morning we're doing the same, but in terms of the men, you're still turning around and reverse it, and it's still the woman's response. So it's our responsibility as women to hold men responsible for their actions, or we are responsible for holding ourselves. You're making me feel as if I'm dotish. Not you, you.
Hey, morning time, morning time. I know this conversation could be had over days upon days upon days. And it's good to have the conversation so that we can learn from one another, both male and female. Because I don't believe it's just a male thing, neither just a female thing. There are failures on both sides. Now, to answer your question, do men hold their brethren accountable?
That's a
Yes, we
question I
do.
ask you now.
But like with everything else, there are exceptions. There are men who are more followers, and there are men who are more leaders. There are men who it's easier to do wrong than to do right. And again, it goes back to me, it goes back to the simple statement I made earlier that it's never a one-sided thing. There are always going to be exceptions. We just, as you said, we just have to grow and become more emotionally intelligent and not accept the hurt people's hurt.
Yeah, and your partner before you go
Let me see if I can explain that a bit more. Just don't accept it, because some people are walking around hurt and they may pretend that they're in a good place and they're not. And we learn from them, we accept what they do because they may have some other level of success. I'll just leave it there. Thanks.
Thank you very much, sir. Now that is man and reasoning. Because he heard the question and he answered it directly. All I asked was, do men hold other men accountable? You start on how women raising boys and trying to raise boys. You wouldn't have that problem and then on top of it, one, woman raising boys because the men no longer is not in the home. And two, it's still their fault that they have to raise them. And two, it's still their fault because the men left because they want to be this and they want to be that. I pray you don't have a woman in your life, because if that is what she has to go through on a daily basis, being your beaten stick in terms of being at fault for everything, I pity her. I really, really hope. Really, really hope and pray. Because the question was clear, but you go up the road, you come back down. That's like typical. Somebody come, what's the direction? I'm trying to reach so and so. Go up the road, you go see a blue stone, then go a little lower down, you see a lamp post. Turn by the stone, the house with the big stone in front of it, it paint red and yellow, and go up a little more, you go all the way up the road. A simple question. Simple question. Tell you, I'll continue to pray for me, please, and thank you. I need it. Anyways, it's all the time we have. But I hope you guys got the message. For those of you who, and I'm grateful to see so many men in the room understanding the position and where we're coming from and not taking it as a blame or pointing finger at you and saying you're responsible for this, that, or the other. You have your part to play. We have a part to play. And at the end of the day, if we each hold ourselves and each other accountable, we would make better choices. You don't need data to know that. If I hold myself accountable and responsible for my actions with the intention to do better, to be better, if Sharon does the same, Anisha does the same, Judy does the same, Lydia does the same, Tamasha does the same, Sandra does the same, Dujana does the same, Roxanne does the same, what will you have? We would have a better society. If Roderick does the same as a man, we would have a better society. Simple. Simple. Father, Lord, I lift up the men in our homes, our communities, our nation. Give them the wisdom to lead with patience instead of pride. Give them the strength to take responsibility for their choices and grow from their mistakes. Heal the places where they were never guided, never affirmed, never taught how to carry their emotions in healthy ways. Teach fathers to be present, not just providers. Teach young men that real strength is discipline, character, and respect. And let the boys watching today grow into men who uplift instead of harm, who build instead of break, who love with integrity and lead with purpose. And as this day unfolds, let every man listening remember that legacy isn't built in big moments, it's built in daily choices. And may those choices create safer homes, safer communities, stronger families, and a generation, a better future for the generation coming behind us. That's all I can pray for. And for those of you who are so close-minded, to be more open-minded with the intent to understand. Because as long as we're closed-minded and we believe what we believe is the only belief that matters, nothing, not a zilch will ever change. So like I said yesterday, and I'm going to repeat it today, accountability and responsibility is each and every one of us responsibility. Not men, not women, each and every one of us. Yeah? So, thank you so much, everybody, for powering up. Tomorrow, we will be having the leader of His Majesty's opposition, the Honorable Emmeline Pear. She's going to be in the room tomorrow. So, I will see you then for that conversation, all right? So, have yourselves a great Tuesday, and we'll do it again tomorrow, same time, same place.
Ladies Room comes to you compliments of Renwick and Thompson Limited, Beacon Insurance, and St. Augustine Medical Imaging. Are you looking